I know that human being and fish can coexist peacefully.
Hello and welcome to the Spoilt Milk Movie Podcast. Here at Spoilt Milk, we like to discuss, destroy and dissect guilty pleasure movies and decide whether they're truly spoilt milk or if they've ascended into a fine, luxurious cheese. So without further ado, here we go.
Warning, this podcast is full of spoilers for the title feature and there's bad language from the start. If you've never seen the film or you're offended by bad language, you have been warned.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Spoilt Milk Movie Podcast. I was just talking about how I don't have a vest body. Hobo, do you feel like you've got a vest body?
I mean, I've got a body that feels like it's like plastic that's been shoved with vests, like to fill it out, so it's a bit lumpy in places it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
But overall, from a distance, it resembles a body. Yeah.
What about you, Katty?
I wear vests all the time.
Yeah, I think I'd love that freedom. Just rock a vest, like Rabsy Nesbitt.
A string vest.
Yeah.
Do you not worry with vests though that people are gonna see your pits and just sweat? I mean, I don't wear a vest at all, so I don't know what the
They're
experience
only
is like.
armpits.
Isn't it better to see beads of sweat than to see a big, like, dark stain?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know this whole vest culture. I've never got into wearing vests.
Do you know what? My dad doesn't sweat.
What?
Yeah, he doesn't.
Do you do all the sweating for the
I
family?
do all the sweating. I'm doing all the sweating for him tonight. But he doesn't wear deodorant and never has done as an adult. Like, because he just doesn't sweat. He's like, I mean, he'll sweat, like, if he goes on, like, a treadmill or whatever, his head will sweat, but never gets a sweaty armpit, ever.
But
That's so weird.
Isn't it?
He may not sweat, but does he smell? I mean, that's a different thing.
He doesn't smell. He smells lovely. He smells very nice, like Old Spice and talc.
Oh, so he is using some form of antiperspirant.
No, just on, like, his neck or whatever.
I think
Like
talc will do a lot for helping you not sweat.
No,
Talc
he don't really talc. That was just for comedy purposes.
Oh, okay.
No, he just doesn't sweat.
Have you really put him through the rigour, though? Have you said, hey, do this assault course, and then just test him?
Or just hold, like, a torch, like a flaming torch under his armpit.
He's going to burn your dad.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we are here today to talk about National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon 1.
Yes.
From 1993.
Is it National Lampoons? Is it classed under... I didn't know that.
The giveaway is when the film starts and the titles come up and it says National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon 1.
You know what? I don't think I was watching the titles. I mean, is the titles anything interesting, like bullets shooting the titles?
We'll get onto that shortly because we
okay.
have got a top 3 to be discussing.
Yeah.
Which this time it was sent in by this ridiculously handsome chap with very sweaty hands. Me! I wanted to know, and this was one actually that me and my brother have discussed in the past. What are our top 3 films that haven't had a remake that we think either deserve one or could get one and could be quite cool? So
that is interesting from a very handsome Chris Hammond.
All right.
More handsome than Chris Hemsworth.
Yes, definitely. But the same age.
Weird.
Do you know what? If I met him, I'd be like, yes, sir. Like, he just seems older, even though I might look more haggard.
Have you not asked to try and see if you could have a shared birthday party?
Oh, I might ask him.
Yeah, just Twitter him. Just be like, hey.
Yeah. We're
Happy
both called
birthday.
Chris.
Yeah.
Both 1983. I'll bring the cake.
Are you born on the same day?
No, I don't think so. I thought we were, but no. But it's only like about a week apart or something.
Oh, okay.
You lied.
I'm the weak one of the two. So, Katty, do you want to go first? Hobo went first last time, and it feels weird if it's mine.
I know, but I don't know what I want.
Oh, have you got like a couple?
Yeah.
Right, okay. Well, you can go for one and then talk through your second one.
I suppose so.
You sound so disappointed.
I really, 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 really want to see a remake of Friday.
Friday. Nice. What, just flat out different people?
Yeah.
Who would you have in it? Oh, that's a question that I've just asked you that I've not even thought about for myself.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Childish Gambino would be pretty cool, wouldn't
Oh,
it?
fuck yeah. Donald Glover would kill it in that.
What as the Ice Cube role?
Yeah, or maybe even the dad.
And then what, maybe Kevin Hart? He feels like he's the Chris Tucker of this generation.
Yeah,
Possibly.
definitely.
Well, no one is the Chris Tucker of this generation. But
I mean, Chris Tucker is great.
I mean,
Yeah.
you could have Chris Tucker and Ice Cube come back in their dad roles and then have new upcoming stars.
Yeah.
Is he a bit too young looking for that, though?
Who?
But then again, have you seen Ice Cube's son is in that?
Yeah,
Straight Outta Compton.
Yeah, and he
he's
looks
really good.
exactly like Ice
It's
Cube.
funny, it's crazy.
It was perfect casting.
Yeah.
It was great.
So why is there any reason that do you feel like there was something wrong with the first
No,
one?
I
or-
love Friday.
Yeah.
I properly love Friday. I just think it'd be interesting to see how it'd be done now.
Oh yeah.
Like, same kind of premise, like, same ghetto kind of area, and whether or not it'd change, like...
Do you think it'd fly now though? Like, there's a lot of stereotypes in that film.
But the stereotypes are there for a reason.
Yeah, of course.
They've obviously, they've been bred from something.
Yeah. Like,
So,
like a stingy dad.
Yeah.
Like that. Everyone's probably had a stingy dad.
I think it would probably need to be written by Donald Glover and the people writing on Atlanta who sort of have really nailed the sort of the right tone for approaching these sort of things rather than just doing it as a stereotype. Now you need to do it as a bit of a commentary. And while I'm sure at the
don't
time...
make Friday serious.
No, it can still be funny. I mean, have you watched Atlanta?
No.
It's weird as fuck, you'll love it. It's very Lynchian in its abstractness. And you can still do that with Friday, but if you don't write it well enough, it's going to hit the wrong tone with audiences.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a hot water situation. But I agree. I'd love to see that.
Would
think
you
it'd be
still
great.
call it Friday?
Yeah?
Okay, we wouldn't have some kind of Friday after next.
Oh, Friday.
No.
If announced Friday reboot coming, like, yay, called Friday. never watching it. Never.
Right, do you know what? I'm going to jump in there.
Motherfucker.
Because you went first last time, and I think you might have gone first the time before,
did,
so
yeah.
I'll give you some thinking
No,
time.
I want to go last for the next 10 goes,
Yeah.
please.
Do you want some thinking music?
Shooby-dooby-doo-doo-doo.
The one that I would like to see remade, and I feel like, how hasn't it been done already, is Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Oh, that'd be so good.
I feel like it's just one of those films that's not... It's not like Goonies that's still getting... Well, there's a screening of Goonies in Leeds going on, I think it was last week. Or a couple of weeks ago at Kirkstall Abbey. Shout out to Sneaky Experience. But like, it's not like Goonies in the way that it's still considered this classic that people reel out and show at screenings all the time.
Whoa.
Like, when was the last time you saw a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids screening?
Yeah, true.
I'd totally go to that, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
I would definitely go to that. It seems to have been a little bit forgotten about.
Shout out Sneaky Experience, put on Honey, I Shrunk the Kids,
Yeah, there
and
you
have
go.
large ants there.
Oh, God,
Please shrink me even more.
But if you think about stuff like the large ant and the large scorpion battle, as long as it wasn't stupid, like, they could do so much more with that now and have a
Yeah.
real giant... Kind of like what they've done with Rampage, but...
My worry is that they would do it and make it all CGI. And no.
Yeah.
Just no. Something like that is so tactile.
I don't know.
It's so...
I don't know, because how else would you go about it? Unless they were shrunk to a
Practical.
size where, like, what an absolute, like, I'd want to see an ant that's the size of, like, a building, or, like, that kind of size ant, like it is where they ride it and get on its back.
Well, they
Yeah.
did magic stuff in The Hobbit with the dwarves.
It's
Yeah,
doable.
perspective, I guess, yeah.
It's definitely doable. And I'm not saying no CGI. I'm just saying not completely... Like, the best CGI is you don't notice it. So you get practicals and then you fix up bits with CGI. It's perfectly doable. The fact is that, one, you have something that actors can actually interact with and emote with, especially the bit in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids where it's like, they really like that ant, and there's a cool ant, and you're just like, oh, you want to be able to hug it, and they hug it, and you feel that sort of thing. And 2, I forgot my other point, so I'm just going to say
we're all big fans of practical effects here, and I'm not one to say CGI over practical, but one of the things I would like to see is not just a reliance on big ants and big scorpions, but maybe thinking kind of like, I guess it might have already been done a bit, but the way with Ant-Man, where they started thinking about, right, we'll have a big a train sequence, but it's with a Thomas the Tank Engine, and have stuff like that, and be like, what can we... Let's be clever about what could be a threat to someone that would just be, I don't know, someone being like a golf tee could be like this big spike coming down, or I don't know, something, and like thinking about small things that could be a massive threat.
It's my day-to-day life.
Yeah.
So would you want Honey, I Shrunk the Kids smaller?
Yeah.
Honey, I Shrunk the Katty. So that's mine, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. I haven't really thought about the actors, because I guess...
That wasn't in the brief.
No, it wasn't. But there's no one really apart from Rick Moranis that stands out that much in that film. So
no, the kids are just throwaway characters, as in actors.
Yeah. I mean, you shouldn't throw away kids.
I mean, you can. The Chinese did it.
Moving on. Hobo. Follow that.
Fucking hell.
Well, they did. It's a historic fact.
Yeah,
no, I'm not doubting it. I just didn't expect it. Didn't expect you to side with a Chinese on for mine, I'm like you, Katty. I had a couple. Like, I have a wish list of things that I wish they could redo and do well.
Very quickly, what was your other one?
I'm not going to tell you.
All right, okay. Hobo.
You said...
Oh, yeah.
you
I don't think yours will be on my list, though.
But no, I don't want to like ruin anything.
Okay, so like one of the... This isn't my top one, but one of the ones I thought about was Avatar: The Last Airbender, because it's a great TV series.
Oh, yeah.
It could make a good, like, 3-part movies, but honestly, most people just agree, really, if you care about it that much, just watch the TV series, because it's really good, really well written.
I've not seen Shyamalan's film, but I've heard it's awful.
Terrible.
Is it
like,
really?
One of the times I wanted to walk out of the cinema, but I didn't know if that was just me because I know the TV series so well. But yeah, no, it was bad. Bad. And then I thought, you know what? FX.
Oh my days!
How good would that be?
Oh, so we have to watch that fucking shit again?
No, but if you did that right and actually, like what you said with Ant-Man, use the FX things creatively and interesting, it could be good.
Yeah.
But not my number one. My number one
fucking hell.
was I Am Legend.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Because the book
is amazing.
Exactly.
Have you both read? I've heard the book's great.
Honest to God.
I'll lend you it.
Oh, right. Yeah, that'd be a good read.
You need to... It's so well done, and then watching that movie is just...
I mean, I enjoyed the film, but they shouldn't have called it I Am Legend.
No.
Because it's nothing like I Am Legend.
Because I know about the ending of I Am Legend. We won't go into spoilers too much, but the end of the story sounds like really good, like a really strong ending, and then this was shit.
The beginning's a really strong beginning, though. Like, the first couple of chapters of that book, well, the first chapter of that book, 'cause it's only quite small, it's gripping. Like, it's... I'm trying to describe it without sort of letting too much go, but it's just him by himself, straight up, and it's just him sort of trying to stop himself from sort of spiraling into absolute madness.
Imagine the first part of a movie, it could be like an indie movie, just I mean, a lot of this movie... In fact, you don't need a big Hollywood budget to do this book. It is an indie movie. It's a lot of it is like very bottled scenes where it's him...
Like
alone.
The Road.
Yeah. Yeah, I still never seen The Road, but I know a lot of people say it's really good.
I mean, I've read the book, and there's not a lot of things that are in the book that's in the film.
Right, okay.
For valid reasons. They eat a baby.
Oh, dear.
Like the Chinese.
I knew you were going to say that. So, have you thought about who you'd have in it, or what? Please tell me, though, there won't be CGI vampires or whatever or zombies or whatever they are.
No.
Fucking
You don't,
terrible.
because the book is, you don't need, you
didn't
really
need them
don't
in that
need
version?
that. No, you don't. And yeah, I think that's just one thing that I really want to, and it's not even like things like Lord of the Rings where you think it's maybe too big to adapt to a film and even a trilogy. Like, this is just a book that very easily condenses to, I'd say, maybe a 2-hour movie, but it's very workable within that time. And also, it's got one of my favourite quotes. Let me just think of it for a second. It's let the jagged edge of sobriety now be dulled.
Ooh, very nice.
Something I live by.
Katty, you going to let us know what your other one was going to be?
Live action Chicken Run.
They're making Chicken Run 2, maybe you should pitch it.
That did not disappoint me.
I just think live action Chicken Run would be great.
That would be fucking great. Would you have them as just like, bop, 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 or would you have like Star's voiceover?
No,
I'd Mel Gibson being like,
just full chickens, just subtitled.
Subtitled chicken.
Oh, that's better than Friday. So shall we go around and just say what our 3 was? Mine was Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Mine was Friday.
Mine was I Am Legend.
Lovely, and we'll be back soon to talk about National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon 1. Hello and welcome back to part 1 of this Spoilt Milk movie podcast episode, which is all about National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon 1 from 1993. Katty, have a go at this one.
So, we've got 2 cops.
Yeah.
And they are on the hunt for some bad guys that have killed Whoopi Goldberg for a chip that's got some sort of secret recipe in it.
The microfilm.
The microfilm. To smuggle cocaine in Girl Scout cookies.
Do you mean into innocent-looking cookies?
I'm not doing accents, I'm sorry.
Oh, you'll have to fucking stop me. Like, I don't know if this will come across in, like, my overall excited tone of voice, but it's not going to be hard to decide which way I'm going to be going on this one.
I can tell you severely hated the film.
I hated it. I hated it so much that I've watched it repetitively over my lifetime since 1993. So it is a spoof, isn't it? It's kind of follows the lines of like Naked Gun,
Hot
Shots, yeah.
Scary movie,
those types of films. But it's spoofing Lethal Weapon. I've got 48 Hours, Silence of the Lambs, Basic Instinct.
Yeah.
Can you think of any others? It's mainly Lethal Weapon, isn't it?
Yeah, majority of it.
It is a buddy cop spoof movie where, what was it? Hot Shots was mainly Rambo.
Yeah.
Scary Movie was
And
obviously
Top Gun.
Scream. And Top Gun.
Making Top Gun 2.
Oh yeah, they are, aren't they?
Apparently,
Val Kilmer's on board as well.
yeah, and Tom Cruise is
But
in it.
have you seen what state Val Kilmer's in with his cancer?
Fucked.
No.
Yeah, absolutely fucked. Like,
Do you think
he looks rough.
is they're going to make his wheelchair like a plane?
Is he in a wheelchair?
I don't know, maybe.
Oh my god.
No, but I think because of his treatment or something, his tongue is really swollen, so he speaks with a really high-pitched voice.
I didn't even know he was
doesn't
ill.
sound anything like Val Kilmer anymore.
Oh, I love Val Kilmer as well. I didn't know that.
No, he's better now than apparently, because I didn't know he had it, and he's had it for like a year, at least a year, maybe a couple. Apparently he's in a better state now, but that's the when I saw him, and he still doesn't look good. So if this is his better state, he's had a rough.
Well,
rough
best
time
of luck
it.
to Val.
Yeah.
We're thinking about you.
Good old Val.
Thoughts and prayers.
Yeah. So we start off this film with a scene in a convenience store, don't we? Now, did anyone else find some of the characters in this quite jarring in this scene?
Do you mean racist?
It was
Yes.
It was so racist. The fact that one of the guys only knew how to say thank you, have a nice day.
I know.
Oh, God.
Yeah, this is quite shocking.
That's the Apu effect, though. That
It
is
is.
literally. I think we talked about it briefly on one about the fact that that's a whole thing right now. The documentary about Apu, and it's literally Loaded Weapon has been affected by, and isn't
But at
one
least Loaded
translating.
Weapon stopped it didn't keep going for 30 seasons or whatever, doing the same thing. Like, they were of its time, and it's quite bad, though, isn't it?
It is. Yeah.
So we get this convenience store scene. Straight from the get-go, we're getting absolute quality jokes, like throwing a cigarette out and standing on it, throwing a cigar out and standing on it, and then throwing a pipe out. I was just like, you've got me straight away. Hobo, you're looking at me like, what? I missed that.
I thought you was gonna. I got a flash that we're gonna go through every single joke then by how much you were loving that moment.
We not? Have you got like 6 hours?
And you're not even looking at notes when going through this. This is all coming from the top of your head.
I did not need notes for this. No. I honestly, I love this film.
How many times do you think you've watched it over your lifetime?
I don't know. Over 20.
Katty, had you watched it before?
No.
No, so this is your first experience. So I think Katty's going to be a better barometer for this, because I had seen it a couple of times. Not a super fan like you, but I was aware of it. So I think I'm more going to lean to Katty's opinion on this, especially because of the time it came out in '93. It's a bit of a different time.
Definitely.
It was a different time.
Yeah, I mean,
it was okay to make a poo jokes.
There was loads of jokes in this that were of its time that were just completely outdated. The Star Trek joke where he's like, I've given it all I've got, Captain, or whatever. I was like, yeah.
No, I think I still make that joke.
Then you shouldn't.
I'm not even a Star Trek fan, but whenever I'm trying to say, like, I'm doing as best as I can, the first thing that comes to my head is, I'm giving it all I've got, Captain.
Yes.
Does that mean you still go, what's that?
Only when something's really up.
Which is in Scary Movie as well.
It is.
Spoofed of its time. So they have that big shootout scene. I think that opening sequence is a bit shit. Like, this... Like, some of the jokes, like when all the little pamphlets fall out of the magazine.
I like that because that's like real life.
It is. Yeah. It stands up, that joke, doesn't it?
It does.
But does that mean you still get magazines with your VCR?
They just come through the door.
Magazines?
Yeah, like you get...
don't you get all those shit magazines?
He doesn't have a post box.
Oh, yeah, you don't have a door.
I get things thrown at me. Like newspapers and magazines, but I don't open them.
You'll get like a magazine come through, like, oh, all these houses are for sale around your area or something. And you open it up and like 1 million pamphlets just fall out of it. You think there's going to be glitter and a finger in there as well.
But there is loads of shit jokes in this first bit, the bit where he uses toilet rolls as night vision goggles and stuff like that. But there are some... I really like the fact that it all kicks off because he's like, have you got this in taupe? And the guy's like, not taupe, only kiwi cherry. And he's like, and you call this a convenience store? And that's what kicks the whole thing off. So the first scene's pretty bad.
We've spent minutes on this opening scene, and you've even said yourself it's not great.
It's not great. But then we get the true opening scene, the Whoopi Goldberg,
with Whoopi.
Tim Curry bit.
It's not rape, Whoopi Goldberg.
It's what?
It's not rape. She's a rape sympathiser, isn't she?
What?
She was talking about
Roman Polanski.
Yeah, she described Roman Polanski's molestation of an underage girl as, it's not rape with air quotes.
No way. Oh my god.
I still love her.
But yeah, she's got some odd opinions.
Yeah.
So we get Tim Curry coming in now then.
Tim Curry. Bless him. I mean, I'd let him spit in my face as long as he was dressed as a wilderness girl.
Yeah. I'd let him do that. Just now. Doesn't need to be dressed in anything.
I fucking love Tim Curry so much.
What did you think of this scene then, the wilderness girls scene?
It's hard without giving away my opinion. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed this part.
Right, okay. This part.
So you see Whoopi, and it's like, that hair is a wig.
Yeah.
And then she's opening all the doors, like, to let the Girl Scout in, which is Tim Curry in disguise. A very good disguise.
Wilderness girls.
Is he being German or Belgian?
Something like that, or Austrian.
I think he's just doing a generic accent that he can do. Yeah.
Accent.
But she opens all of the doors to let him in, and then there's just like this super fight scene. There's like, Tim Curry rips off her wig, which I was just like, that is great. My favourite bit throughout the whole of this scene though is where he shoots her, and then he's asking her questions and she's answering them.
Is it Dan McQuacken or Mike McQuacken?
It just shoots her again.
Yeah, and then she's like, and then he asks another question, and then she comes back alive.
Oh, yeah, you just take a left on the boulevard.
And then he goes over to that blind guy and he's like, you saw nothing. Puts money in his
That
jar.
is the one bit I wrote down from this, the one note I made from it, that it's such a terrible joke, but you know what? I watched this film twice before we watched it, and I laughed both times.
That's a good joke, I think.
It's like that stupid, like, tale, like, there was like a poem, like, riddle kind of thing that my granddad used to tell me when I were a kid. It was like, I see, said the blind man, oh no, said the dummy, and the man with no legs walked away in disgust.
Oh, that's such a simple but effective joke.
Yeah.
And then there's the one fine day in the middle of the night one.
What's that?
One fine day in the middle of the night, two dead men got up to fight. Back to back, they faced each other, drew their swords and shot each other.
That's weird. Where are you from? A fairy tale?
That feels
No.
like something out of a Da Vinci Code or something, where it's going to lead us to treasure if we figure it out.
It's just an old, like, kind of
Ponty
thing.
But what's
Well,
the
my
meaning?
my grandparents weren't from Ponty.
They lived under a tree.
They didn't.
Are they hedgehog people?
Hedgehog people. I mean, my granddad was a miner,
Oh, yeah.
so he did live
very
underground.
young.
No, but when he got over 18, what was he?
So while we're talking about all these quality jokes, so we start to then get introduced to Luger and Colt, don't we? Both named after guns. And there's some great jokes straight off the bat, isn't there?
I can't hear the word Colt without thinking of Afro Man.
What? Why?
Colt 45 and 2 zigzags, babe, that's all I need.
Oh, God. I do not. Is that because I got high? Is that the right?
No.
Am I just getting my...
No, I don't know
it's the
Afro
same
Man that
guy,
well, so.
but it's a different song. It's called...
He did more than one song?
He's got a full album. It's great. Listen to it.
I'll be all right.
I don't think anyone else is going to make that reference.
It automatically was in my head. I just start singing the song as soon as I hear Colt.
Yeah, I've never
I didn't
listened
know
to
he
any
had
more
an
songs.
album out, so...
Maybe we can put it in the middle of the two parts.
Yeah, maybe.
The full album.
We also listened to Rednecks earlier, didn't we? They had a
did.
second song,
Old-
not just Cotton Eye Joe.
Old pop in an oak.
Pop in an oak, yeah. A pop in an oak.
Old Man in an Oak Tree, that's what I think that song's about.
Yeah, it's about Katty's granddad. No,
Was
so
he an oak tree?
actually
Is it Ent?
we get introduced to Luger first at the crime scene, don't we?
Yeah.
Where we see, who's the guy from Police Academy? Who's there? Do you know the...
Oh, and yeah, it's the...
no, not the old guy. It's his, like, mate, the snivelly one. Who's always like, hey, Sarge, hey, Sarge.
Oh, no.
Because he's talking about how he's got dandruff. And he gives him head and shoulders.
Yeah.
And he's like, but Sarge, you don't have dandruff. And he's like, I know.
Oh, yeah. No, so, yeah.
There were
Was
so
that
many terrible jokes going through that
There's
crime
so many
scene,
great
though.
jokes. Yeah, where they're like, he gets his photo taken, doesn't he? And he's like, do you want it in gloss or matte? And he's like,
Yeah.
matte. And he's like, good choice. And then, but I love it where they meet that lady and she's talking about York, Whoopi Goldberg's character. And he's like, what do you think? And she goes something like, well, this chicken shit took the loser's way out and punched her own ticket.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, that's my friend. I've known her for 10 years or whatever.
Yeah.
And she's like, looks like a suicide. And they see her and she's like, and he's like, she must have caught herself by surprise. It's just absolutely quality jokes.
That was good. The setup for that is like, this is someone I know. Is like, oh, cool. Looks like she took the chicken shit out and then caught herself. Yeah, I agree. They were spot on. But by this point, they'd tried to cram in so many other jokes.
Oh, yeah.
It was hard to keep, like, you could almost blink and miss the good jokes for all the other jokes.
Definitely. Well, I said to my other half before we watched this, I was like, just to let you know, there's probably about 1,000 jokes in this film.
Yeah.
And about 100 of them are good.
Yeah.
I was like, I think that's why as well, I remember watching this for the first time and thinking, that was okay. And then it was, again, my brother who was really like, no, watch it again. And like, watched it again. And the more times I watched it, the more I was like, this is really good. And sifted out all the shit and ignored it and just paid attention to the good jokes.
Why? When this feels like They did a first draft of the script and went, that's good enough. And then they went, oh no, we need a joke pass, just make sure we bump it up a little bit. But then in that joke pass, nothing was rejected.
Yeah.
It was literally like anyone in the room plus maybe people walking by went, I've got an idea for a joke. I went, that's in.
And if someone sniggered, then that meant it was ultimately in.
Yeah.
If someone even smiled slightly.
Yeah, exactly. There was no gating process for these jokes that got in there.
But they probably just thought, well, if someone laughs, someone in a cinema will. So why not stick it in there? Did you
People
notice
still laugh at people farting.
Did you notice that in the bit where they got to the police station, our mascot of the Spoilt Milk movie podcast, Lynn Shay, was in?
Who the fuck is Lynn Shay?
Lynn Shay. We always end up talking about Lynn Shay. She's in Insidious. She's the old lady in Insidious. Then she cropped up in Critters. And then she fucking cropped up in this again. You know her that's like... from Kingpin.
Yes! Yeah!
And she was describing someone to that guy, and she was like, no, fuller lips, and it was a Mr. Potato Head. But I love the fact that later in the film, they're like talking, and there's a guy in the background with a Mr. Potato Head. He's like, I'm innocent, and they're dragging him along.
I just love the fact that we didn't know who she was until you went...
We need to do Kingpin one, so we actually can talk about that bit. So I think we'll call it time for part one, and we'll be back shortly to actually talk about the protagonists of the film we've not spoke about at all.
Nope.
Bye.
Bye.
Once upon a time, in the neighborhood, wilderness girl, she was up to no good. Looking for a microfilm for the master plan. Don't let the stockings fool you, she's a man. Wolfie gets killed in the first act. Luca gonna solve the case, yo, that's a fact. Joining up with Talc, but he ain't no rookie. Stop mixing cocaine to innocent looking cookies. Oh, these cookies. Who told you could eat my cookies? Hello and welcome back to part 2 of the Spoilt Milk movie podcast, where today we're talking about Loaded Weapon 1. I think we should pick up the conversation talking about Colt.
Which one was Colt?
Emilio Estevez, that teen star that you said last time that he never made anything after being a teenager. Him.
Yeah, he's never done anything better than Breakfast Club. Oh, no, sorry, My Ducks, sorry. Yeah.
No, Breakfast Club is better than that.
No!
Of course it is.
The Champions.
The Champions. No,
I didn't know that.
Which do you think is better, Mighty Ducks or Breakfast Club? I need a judge opinion on this.
Oh, you're not really debating this, are you?
Yeah, I am.
Fucking Mighty Ducks
is better than
No,
Breakfast
it isn't.
Club. Yes, it is.
More happens in Mighty Ducks.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not a better film.
It is.
Oh, my God. Right, okay.
You're asking my opinion,
Yeah.
and you know what type of films that I like.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's why he's asking your opinion,
Yeah.
because you're going to side with Mighty Ducks.
I just wanted to win one.
So Mighty Ducks star Emilio Estevez plays Colt. He's not going through good times, is he, in this film? He's lost
not,
Claire, hasn't he?
Oh, yeah, Claire.
Fucking hell. Have
His
you seen this
partner.
film?
Claire, which...
It's a dog.
Yeah. But the first time I watched it, I think I missed the bit where early on he says it's a dog. So the bit where he said it's later, where he was making a joke with Jackson about, oh, I miss coming home to Claire, and she used to like...
Nuzzle my crotch.
Yeah, nuzzle my crotch, and then all those other stuff. That bit was much funnier to me than the second time. I was like, oh no, he's mentioned it's a dog.
But that's why it's funny, because Jackson doesn't know.
No, but I think it's
and
also...
everyone who's on the radio doesn't know. And where they're announcing it to like a baseball game or whatever, they don't know.
But also that would be more funny if the audience didn't. If you were in the same position as Samuel L. Jackson and the radio was... You'd find that like,
no,
what
because
the fuck is going on?
That would just be weird. If it was just like, oh, and then she started licking herself or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
no, you can find... Because a good film would reveal the dog thing much later.
What are you trying to say?
Well, a better written film in this
You do know that
instance.
fucking dogs is illegal.
No, I'm on
Because
about...
it's hinting like you're making out this is okay.
No, I'm saying proper comedic setup. It decides when the audience is in on a joke and when it's not. And I think they made a boo-boo by saying that... I don't know why.
Who are you?
By letting the audience in too early that Claire was a dog, where if they'd played it more like it was a Lethal Weapon where Claire was just, his girlfriend or wife that had died, and then it came to this scene where he's like, and nuzzled my crotch, and he's like, look, what the fuck is that? And then, or like, oh, she used to piss on me when she's excited and stuff like that. And like, what the fuck? And then you have a click reveal then that it's a dog. That is much better.
I wouldn't say much better, it's just different.
Okay.
It's just different types of
okay.
humour. Right?
You're just going to disagree with anyone that says anything bad about this film.
Absolutely. Have you not seen the big smile that's come on my face as soon as we started talking about this film? So the whole story is about trying to find out the villain who's smuggling drugs into innocent-looking cookies.
Yeah. Do it in the accent, please.
Innocent-looking cookies. So you kind of get that it's William Shatner, don't you, when he comes in and eats the piranha, kills Dennis Leary.
That was such a random fucking thing.
What about the bit where they compare quotes and he gets that book out?
It's just like inspirational stuff.
And he's like, loose lips sink ships.
What was it? Life is too short. It's like a...
For fussing and fighting, my friend.
Yeah.
No good, Mike.
Which is a Beatles quote or something, isn't it?
Fuck the Beatles.
I mean,
said
most of them are dead.
So far, has there been anything about the film that you've liked?
Whoopi Goldberg's wig.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Tim Curry dressed as a scout.
I'd say there's been a lot of really good individual moments that I feel like this movie did make me laugh.
How did you feel about John Lovitz's character playing the kind of Joe Pesci from Lethal Weapon 3 role?
Oh,
the money laundering.
I
could have done without
informant
him.
thing.
Yeah.
That was weird.
Weren't a fan.
Although it did lead for some decent jokes when they went to that hotel.
Oh.
And he's like, do you know this woman? And he pulls out that T-shirt. And he's like, is that her? And he goes, no, it's a shirt. No, it's a photo.
Yeah.
That's a good joke.
Yeah. I think some of the jokes in this as well.
Doesn't he end up keeping that T-shirt as well?
I don't know. I think so.
I didn't
and he wheels the
laugh
corpse out.
But not because they weren't funny. They were like, that is a funny joke, but they were also just badly timed. Like some of them, because of their runtime, I feel, just they rushed through a lot of really good jokes.
Yeah, it's a very short.
But some of the... Because they were badly timed, sometimes it made it more funny. Because it just missed the point completely.
Like...
And I can't think of an example of one. But it would just... You could tell that it just didn't fit in there, and it just made it more funny. Or made it actually funny. Please
tell me it wasn't the bit where he pulls out the gun and has his underpants on his gun.
Fucking hell, yeah.
That's probably one of the worst jokes anyone could ever write.
There is a lot of bad jokes.
Yeah, it's worse than the money launderer washing money.
Did you notice the Simpsons joke that was in there? I don't know which episode came first. It might have been this before Simpsons.
Which one?
In fact, it probably was this before Simpsons. The not so fast.
Well,
he's running away.
Down the hall.
Yeah, and he goes not so fast, and then he moves slower. But that is a perfect example. If you put the Simpsons version of a joke side by side with this, Simpsons one nails the timing, where this one just...
Are you saying that this isn't as funny as The Simpsons?
Yes.
Oh. Do you know what, actually, I was saying that like as a joke, but I actually think this is funnier than The Simpsons.
Oh, you fucking kidding me?
No. Like, The Simpsons had 4 good series, and I've got, what, about 30?
They had more than 4 good series.
Maybe 5.
Let's not fight Mummy and Daddy.
But 25 bad series, that makes it go downhill.
I wasn't even saying that as a bad thing against Loaded Weapon, but now you've said that you've... Oh, I'm going to tank this movie so hard.
How many notes do you have about this film?
Lots. I can't even look at them all. And do you know, I don't even need them. Like, I could probably talk you
was
through...
good with the money launderer guy.
Yeah, and they just zip him up and
where
down.
It's like, oh, don't worry, you're going to be fine. And then, literally in that same shot, they zip him up into a body bag while he's still alive, kind of. that worked during the
Oh, you liked that
film.
one?
Yeah,
did you?
yeah.
Right, okay, then I would have thought that was one of the worst. Okay.
Katty, you just look like, I'm done with this. I'm just...
Do you know when Cham watches a film and he doesn't like it and he just stays quiet throughout the whole podcast?
Yeah. This is the first time I've seen you this excited about a film.
I'm super excited. I could honestly talk about this all day.
You could probably list all the jokes in this film, especially all the good ones, outright, and I think I could tell you all the ones that just didn't land.
Well, you could just tell me why they're not good jokes and then kill my buzz. Well, you don't really get much Tim Curry in the film. I feel like he's underserved a bit, which is a bit of a shame.
I mean, if Tim Curry was in it more, I'd probably enjoy it.
Yeah.
Shatner's not in it very much, is he?
No, he's not eating any more fish.
I think their budget was a bit low. Charlie Sheen and Denise
Richards,
Richards, there we go. Was in it?
Do you know what? Got on I watched this film recently and I went to Berlin and got on a train. If anyone goes to Berlin, when you get off the plane, you've got to buy a ticket for the train to go in, and you've got to clock it in a machine to validate it. And this guy on the train, the conductor guy, basically bollocked me and my mates for not putting it in this machine. And he was going to charge us a £60 fine. But he was like, look at this ticket. And he was like, validated. And like, honestly, it just reminded me of the scene where Charlie Sheen's like, validated. And like, I could not take him seriously from that point. And then for the rest of the holiday, my mates were just like, validated. About this weird German guy. But yeah, there's a few cameos. Bruce Willis pops up as well, doesn't he?
I love that bit where they shot up the wrong caravan.
And he's just like, no problem.
Again, I didn't think that landed at all. I didn't get that bit at all.
They shot up the wrong caravan.
Yeah.
He was very angry.
They had Bruce Willis for a day and probably a bit of a budget to do a bomb bit, so they got him in. It's funny.
Someone was riding a helicopter. They had a good time.
So, I mean, I think we probably can be wrapping this one up, because I could just sit here for the next half an hour just reeling off jokes that I love in this film. Well, shall we round up and say what we thought about the film? Because unless we just keep reeling off jokes, I think we're about done with Loaded Weapon.
Yeah.
Hobo, what did you think of it?
I mean, the reason we're about done with it is because we don't want to listen to you talk about jokes.
Yeah, that's true.
And because there's no story structure, and it's not even... It's not like it's the first cameo film. It's not even like it's a good cameo film. You've got Hot Shots that came out before it and was amazing from what I remember. And looking at the box office for these films,
got a sequel.
Yeah. This one was called Loaded Weapon 1
and never got
another sequel.
Maybe you should make the two, Jam.
Yeah, maybe I should. We're going to call that teen star Emilio Estevez.
And the biggest problem with this is, I'll end it by just saying, all it needed was someone to just control the jokes, but I just don't think there was any. It could have been amazing, but because there wasn't any control of the jokes, it was just like loads of mini skits shoved together, and I'm meant to care about it past the 90s relevance that it maybe had.
And you did?
No. It's a spoilt milk for me. Probably one of the hardest spoilt milks I've ever seen, and I watched it twice.
Yeah, it was hard to really not give it a luxurious cheese, is that what you mean?
No, it was easy.
Katty?
I'm sorry, Cham. I'm sorry. I just didn't get it.
Right, okay.
It just weren't my jam.
But you watched it all, though, didn't you?
I watched it all. I watched it all at home, and then I watched it the other day at work when I should have been doing work, but wasn't. But yeah, so I had it on my screen. I was watching it as I was getting along with stuff, and I just didn't get it. Like, some of the jokes landed, some of them just
didn't.
No. I was just watching it thinking, what is my life? Like, because it's fairly long as well.
It's not. It's like 87 minutes.
It felt so long.
This is why
I wanted your opinion on this, because I had seen it once or twice. I in the back of my mind, I remember the bit about Samuel Jackson not being able to shoot at people because of a
yeah, because
he kept shaking and going.
Shoot him! Oh, fucking great.
So I was like, maybe... Because I think I liked it a little bit when it first came out.
Yeah.
But, no.
It's literally 90 minutes, not including credits.
90 minutes.
Yeah.
It felt more than that.
It's a proper...
And I've seen some dog shit.
So...
It's Spoilt Milk, Cham, I'm sorry.
Okay, so this film is Spoilt Milk with 2 against 3. Don't listen to them. Anyone who's listening to this podcast, don't listen to the other 2. It's an amazing film. It is awesome. It is hilarious. It's definitely a luxurious cheese. It's got all the jokes you ever want to hear, plus more. So just go out and buy it. Rent it so you've got a backup copy.
Wow.
It is amazing.
This is getting desperate now. I feel really bad.
Right.
The look on your face, I feel like I've kicked a puppy.
And on that note, Spoilt Milk.
If it had more Tim Curry in, it might have been a different story.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it for this episode. Spoilt Milk for Loaded Weapon 1.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Spoilt Milk Movie Podcast, you pieces of fucking shit.
She's got a really puffy fanny. I was like, oh.
They do. They get really swollen and...
But yeah, just the word puffy. I was like, oh God.
Puffy fanny. Puffy vagina.
I'll never eat sugar puffs again.